they can pray. We don't better, Nigeria still they can pray.
7 minutes down side 7 Citizen FM 93.7. It is the Super Citizen at Sunrise. My name is Kemi Asekun. My loved ones call me Kem. I like it that way. Yes, it is the headlines on the Super Citizen show. I have in the studio with me Philemon Ajekuko, an economist and a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Philemon.
Good morning to you too, Kem. Should I call you that?
Yes, you can call me Kem. It's fine. How are you this morning?
I'm really thank God to be alive, man.
Absolutely, that's the way to go. Anytime. Well, let's quickly delve into the papers this morning. Of course, we usually start with Premium Times NG because we are partners, okay? And then what we have here from PremiumTimesNG.com talks about a terrorist attack on a police station and how they blocked the Zamfara highway. I'll just take a look at what the story says quickly. It says terrorists operating in Zamfara state attacked a police station in Magami community of Gusau on Tuesday and stole the phones of police officers on duty. It was guarded by Premium Times that the terrorists arrived in the community around 3:40 p.m. and went straight to the police outpost. Magami is one of the conflict-ravaged communities in Zamfara state. Incessant attacks by terrorists have forced several residents to flee to Gusau, the state capital, for safety. Oops, this is not a very good one.
It's not a good one, but it's obvious to everybody now that security installations are targets of these guys. So I expect that every police station should have a certain protocol put in place to ensure that our police officers are protected. So why they get this easy access to these places, I still don't understand. So there's something missing, and the police has to fix that.
Well, you would agree with me that even our men of our police force are stretched to their limits. We have about one policeman to about 500 people or something, if the statistics in my head is correct, so perhaps this community policing thing is one thing that we need to take more seriously, because it's almost impossible for those people to have come into the community without some people noticing that these are strange faces, unless of course they are part of that community, so it's I don't know.
What pains me is why we're having this debate about policing, community policing. I have a feeling that if any state, it's not, it doesn't give you more money from the center. So if you can afford, why are we making so much hue and cry over it? If a state says they can afford it, allow them to do whatever they want.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Of course, the law has to be put in place, to get that done. But then
the law is as easy as the people that write the law. So write it in the books and get it done. Simple.
Okay, simple and clear. We move on from that. We look at this now. It says brain drain. Nigerian doctors threaten action as NMA seeks urgent intervention. Yesterday was in the news that over 10,000 Nigerian doctors have actually left Nigeria, and they actually practicing just 10,000 in the UK, over 10,000 in the UK. We're not talking Australia, we're not talking the US, we're not talking of Canada, we're not talking of even India, but here we are, the brain drain. Nigerian doctors threaten action as NMA seeks urgent intervention. Mr. Rowland said Nigerian doctors are poorly paid, overworked, lack necessary work tools, and have become a target for kidnapping. The Nigerian Medical Association, umbrella body of medical doctors practicing in the country, has hinted a possible shutdown if the government fails to address the myriads of challenges facing its members. NMA President Uche Rowland said this during a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday to mark the 2022 Physicians Week. He called on the Nigerian government to declare a state of emergency in the country's health sector. Oops, what's your take on that, Philemon Ajekuko?
I don't know. Every time we keep talking about declaring state of emergency, maybe at the end we just declare state of emergency for the whole country, because every sector is impacted so badly. Now, health is critical to development. When people are not healthy, you do not have them as human capital to be able to carry the weight that the economy needs. So, if you have doctors, as you said, I was looking up a report, about 13,000 medical personnel have left this country in the last 12 months alone. Sometimes you have about, according to another report, about 12 doctors leaving every week. So already our hospitals are stretched to the limit. I hate going to public hospitals. You go there, you stay there for the whole day just to see a consultant. And what bothers me...
Well, I don't know which hospitals you have been to, but I know that the hospital, I don't want to give them advert, but I use the Garki hospital.
Yes.
And it's not that...
understand Garki operates on a different model.
Perhaps we should have that model for all the hospitals.
It's not the same thing with, say, FMC, or we say General Hospital, or Gogalada General Hospital.
Perhaps we should have the same, because that format works. Everything is in the computer, and so you know that this is the time.
But guess what?
What?
They're trying to break that structure.
Well, I don't know.
So
I
where
hope they
does
don't.
that take us?
I hope they don't. But let me look at what you said. You said every sector is impacted so badly.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
You see, there are pillars of development. And these pillars, you can take energy, you can take health, you can take education, just name it. So tell me which one has not been impacted badly.
Okay, maybe we should now look at the fact, maybe we should look at where we're coming from and where we're going to. Our population seems to have expanded, through the limits without, attendant work being done on some of these things. And I think that may be one of the greatest challenges. But we shouldn't forget that, in my opinion, I think that things are being put in place, foundations are being laid. I think that sometimes Nigerians are a bit too maybe because we're no longer farmers. Maybe because many of us no longer farm, so we forget that seed season and harvest seasons are different, and then the time frame for that, is also different. I don't know, but it's because you said every sector is impacted so badly that I needed to take you up on that.
I find it fascinating when I see a very optimistic Nigerian like you, because I used to be an optimist, but not anymore. Let me tell you something. Who
stole your optimism? We need to find that person and kill him.
People like you.
I did.
Yes.
How?
There's fantasy and there's reality. You do not take, if you're building a house, for God's sake, how long does it take you to lay the foundation? We are 62 years.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, so if you take 62 years to build a foundation, then how long will it take you to build the rest of the house?
I see how you lost your optimism, because you see, in building a house, you want to be sure that the person you have contracted to do it will do it accordingly. You're looking at 62 years. You're not looking at the years where we had military rule. You're not looking at the years where certain things were thrown out. You're not looking at the years.
It does, listen to me.
Yes.
I'm an economist. It doesn't matter. There are in this part of the world, there's this saying that how weekend go be, you go see them for midweek. I mean, something like that.
Yeah, you had to bring in your robo blood.
Right. So
okay.
What I mean is this. There are certain signs that will tell you that a country is going to go the right direction.
Okay, let me put you on the spot. If you were the president of Nigeria, what would you do differently? Even though they say that he who rides a car or drives a car with his mouth never gets an accident. But let me just quickly roll that with you. If you were the president of Nigeria, what would you do that will set things so that all the sectors are not impacted?
Let me also put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What does it take to plant something?
Till the ground.
I am a farmer. When I say I'm a farmer, I'm not a commercial farmer. I live in a compound that has about a meter by 82 meters.
Okay.
So that's like this size. It has a meter by 82. Okay. Now in that tract of land, I have mango, I have oranges, I have banana, I have I don't remember the last time I bought banana in the market. I have plantain, I have what else? I have just name it, vegetable, ugu, okra. In that small space of land.
Okay.
Now, tell me how much arable land we have in Nigeria. Every election, I keep hearing go back to the farm. For God's sake, where is the farm? Is it in Ukraine or in Siberia or where? The land is looking at us here. I went to some place in Niger, right? You know the median, that small space between the two roads. People were planting rice there, and it was growing.
Niger is known for rice.
When you have that kind of situation, why do we keep talking about farming as if we are talking about space science or something.
No. That's not what I'm saying. Just the way you have it. I'm sure at the time you planted the things you planted, it was not the same time it fruited. However, we must also remember that the time it will take to plant orange, and you will reap. I'm coming. Philip Asekun. Just hold on. What I'm trying to say when I said go back to farming, seed time and harvest time are different, right? And there is that. I am seriously optimistic. For those who listen on this program, they know me as an idealist. Lawrence is the realist, and you are becoming the realist for us today. Okay, so but technically, what I'm saying is, I see hope. I would rather see the cup as half full than as half empty,
hope.
right? Yeah.
Hope is premised on something. Let me tell you another story. When I started planting, people were asking me, is this your house? I says, no, I'm a tenant. But as long as I'm a tenant here, it is my house. Now, first, you have to have the intention to plant. We're not talking, everything has gestation. We know that.
Of course, yeah.
If you do not have the intention to plant, my sister, you can never plant.
And you're not seeing the intentions right now. That's what you'll say.
That's
okay,
what I'm
that's fair. We all have glasses and the sphere we look at stuff from, and it's fine. Okay, we're moving from that now, and it says here that INEC releases dates for Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi off-cycle governorship elections. Of course, you do know that these states, all right, have off-cycle elections because at some point or the other, the governor that was installed with the other people had to be taken out. But let me look at what the story says. It says the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released dates and schedule of activities for Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi off-cycle governorship elections. The commission at a meeting on Tuesday reached a resolution to hold the elections into the 3 governorship seats on the 11th of November 2023. Anambra, Edo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Osun are the other states where off-cycle governorship elections are held in the country. INEC announced on the 25th of February 2023 for the presidential and National Assembly elections, while governorship elections will only be held in 28 states, and that will be on the 11th of March in 2023. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts, I wish them good luck. I hope that they will do the right things and allow Nigeria to be at peace with itself. Parties should learn to behave properly. They have been given enough time. Behave properly.
This reminds me of when the president said, when they asked him about his children, his son who was getting married and the daughter-in-law at that time, and he said, let them behave themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, so we look at other stories now, and this one is ASU strike. The ASU strike here, NLC rejects Nigerian government's no work, no pay. The Nigerian government has insisted it will not pay the 8-month salaries of the university lecturers for the period the strike lasted. The NLC has rejected the no work, no pay policy of the Nigerian government against members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, over the union's recently suspended strike. What's your take on that, Mr. Asekun?
I think it's a bone in the truth. I really don't know what to make of our educational system. For one, I don't think we have a system that will stand the test of time. And it is
How do you mean?
See, every society is propelled by education.
Okay.
Do you understand? That is where knowledge is passed from one generation to another. Right? Now, the knowledge that we even have right now, it's not practical knowledge, because apart from acquiring knowledge, you have to transfer knowledge to the industry place. That is the marketplace. So tell me, everything we are using in this studio right now came from somewhere outside this country. True or false?
Well, maybe not everything, maybe many.
Many. Well, if you have to put percentage, would you say 20%? 10%?
I ain't gonna put percentage
I'm
on
putting
it.
you on the spot because you put me on the spot.
Well, it's fine. No, but you said everything, and I said not everything.
No, so
yeah.
This is the point. The point is that when you have a system as disjointed, as how do I put it now, fractured, as it is right now.
Why do you say fractured and disjointed?
When did you graduate, for God's sake? Just look back at the time you spent in school. Now, for some of us who have also taking courses outside the country. You look at how knowledge. Let me give you a very simple example.
Okay.
There's something floating on the internet right now. When they say that they teach us how to draw grasshopper, whereas the Chinese are teaching themselves how to build spacecrafts and all that. Now, when you look at that kind of thinking, what does it tell you? It tells you that there's a gap in our educational system. For instance, there is biology, there is applied biology. There's chemistry, there is applied chemistry. Now, the difference between the two is that one is theoretical. The other one takes you to the field where you practice what you have done and then draw a conclusion that will take you to the marketplace. Now, it is that marketplace that is not in existence in the education system. So we go to school, we come out of school as maybe an economist, and then you go to a bank to work as a teller. Or you read biochemistry.
What's the way forward?
The way forward is for me to recalibrate the entire education system, bring it down. That is why, for me, I didn't really care whether ASU was on strike or not, because they were not impacting knowledge in the first place. But the reason they were not impacting knowledge is because government has not made it possible for them to impart knowledge.
I don't agree with you on that.
Okay.
But let me just quickly say that I do totally agree with you that we need to move our education sector to applying the stuff that we learn. I was a science student, okay, and I know that I did organic chemistry, and I was very interested in chemicals, okay. And today, right, you have people locally making liquid soap, making liquid bleach.
Those are minor.
No. I'm getting somewhere. I'm coming to. So they can make liquid bleach, liquid soap, liquid all of that. That's applied chemistry. If in that chemistry that you're taught for the 3 years that you're taught,
that's right,
you're given these things. So you know that as an SS1 student, you can all these things that they're now going to do conferences to teach. You can start doing that. You can decide to start mixing perfumes. You can decide to, that alone will give you something to earn, and it will also reduce unemployment in Nigeria.
May I just add to that?
Yes, please, go ahead.
It will also shock you that most of the people who are doing this mixing that you're talking about are not even graduates of biochemistry.
I totally agree with you, but I am saying even from the basic chemistry that we are taught in schools, right? One of the first things you're taught in chemistry is how to distill, and that's fractional distillation of crude oil and all of that. So you see, I do agree with you that we need to revamp our education sector from a certificated system to a certificated system, what you understand and what you can do, but then I would not say that the system
our quarrel, the quarrel between you and I on this issue now is that of the role of government.
I think that government cannot do everything for us.
No. I think that, see, Kemi, on a very serious note.
Yes.
We make this argument, and it's a ridiculous argument.
Why do you say that?
I'll tell you. Government is the biggest facilitator of development. They set the pace that the private sector flies on. Do you understand?
But that's about the laws. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they have to be fully in charge. I think
I'm
that
not,
as
I'm
a
not
people,
talking about being fully in charge.
Yeah.
I'm talking about setting the platform, setting the environment. You have to, it's just like coming down here. If I want to get 93.7, I have to tune
to the dial. Okay, let's move on from that story. A big shout out to Bode. Bode, I see your WhatsApp message. Thank you very much. You were reacting to the Super Seat is in charge, and you did say that everything is in the mind. Good morning, Bode. Thank you. Okay, it's 25 minutes downside 7. It is Citizen FM 93.7. You're listening to the Super Citizen at Sunrise. My name is Kemi Asekun. We're doing the headlines on the Super Citizen, and of course, I have in the studio with me Philip Ajekuko.
Philemon.
Oh, sorry, Philemon. Why do I keep saying it's Philip? I just saw the feel.
You drank too much water this morning, maybe.
No, I think I needed a little more sleep, but then it's okay. Philemon Ajekuko, who's an economist, a public affairs analyst. Well, you start placing your call through. We'll go to other papers in a bit. 0818 22 22 205 0818 22 22 205. Let's quickly take a look at what the point is saying this morning. Ogun PDP crisis worsens. The rider says party suspends Ladi Adebutu, 4 others, and battle members face expulsion after 30 days if court nullifies APC primaries in Rivers, sacks candidates. Okay, let's take a quick look at that big story on the point this morning. It says the crisis rocking the Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party deepened on Tuesday as it announced the suspension of its governorship aspirant Ladi Adebutu. Also suspended were the acting chairman Taiwo Akinlabi, State Secretary Sunday Sholari, State Publicity Secretary Akinloye Bankole, and Ogun East Senatorial Chairman Kayode Adebayo. They were all suspended on the ground that they acted in flagrant disobedience of the subsisting court judgment which produced the current executives of the party. In a statement made available to newsmen in Abeokuta on Tuesday and co-signed by the Financial Secretary and Assistant State Treasurer of the party, Bola Odumosu and Mrs. Akibori Yomi, respectively, the party said the suspended members were found guilty of contravening the terms of the settlement entered in the consent judgment that birthed the current executives of the party in the state. Whoa. Let's look at that. PDP in Ogun State, APC in Rivers State.
I have one word: cannibals.
Why do you say that?
They are busy cannibalizing themselves. These are the same people who want to rescue the country.
You say APC and PDP?
Yes.
Okay.
Whether in Rivers State or in Ogun State. And you have very simple issues as putting the party structures together at the state level in order to wrestle power from sitting government. And you have people who are pushing their personal interests. What will be good for their own party?
Okay.
Remember that in 2015, APC had no candidate in Rivers State. Remember that? Right. In 2023, the same thing is about to happen. All because of personal interest. So when these people now come to power, my dear sister, how do you want them, my dear optimistic sister? How do you want them to rescue us if they are battling with things that are, how do I put it, pedestal?
Well, it's in the
little things.
It's in the states. It's in the states. Let's see how that pans out.
It's in the states.
Yeah, let's see how that pans out. On the Zuma Big Talk later on today at 8 o'clock, we'll be looking at how to get more selfless people in public office. What we need to do as a people, or what they need to. I don't even know how to get more selfless people, in public office. But before we leave the front page of the point this morning. Let's take another story after this break.
I bet it crossed your mind. Stay connected to the Super Citizen Show as we enjoy a great radio experience on 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. It's the full package. Let's take you back, way back. Let's celebrate the African people, culture, rich heritage, and wealth of excellence on African Vibes on 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. Stay abreast. Get informed. Know what's happening around you on News Roundup. And when it's 4:30 p.m., you know it's time for quizzes. Do you think you know Nigeria? Answer 3 questions correctly and be one of our daily winners on quizzes. That's why we say it's the full package. It's the Super Citizen Show with Didi. 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays through Fridays on 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja.
Indeed, you should hook up with the Super Citizen at sunset much later in the day. But you are listening to the Super Citizen at sunrise. This is Citizen FM 93.7. It is 30 minutes, 7:30 actually. And my name is Kemi Asekun. I have in the studio with me Philemon Ajekuko. And the calls are pouring in already. Let's see who is in the house. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning, David. How are you this morning?
Good morning, yes.
His name is Philemon Ajekuko.
Good morning, Mr. David.
Yes, I want to comment the issue of education.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, government is the pioneer because government policy alone can change the system of education. And if they take wrong policy, it can also demolish the education system. So government play a major role based on either to privatize it or to leave it in the hands of the public. But the policy that they will implement is matters alone. That is what I want to say. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Amen, and God bless you too. Thank you very much, David. Indeed, but I know that Nigeria doesn't suffer from a lack of policies, really, if you ask me. But let's quickly take...
What is policy?
Well, I'm going to have to Google that, but I know that there are a lot of policies in Nigeria.
Policy is not just what you have written down. Policy is what you have written down and how you're going to do it and how you get it done.
Nigeria has all the things that has been written down, how you will do it, how to get it done, but do we do it? That's the question. At the end of the day,
we are sick.
At the end of the day, I don't know about that. But at the end of the day, you need to get these things off the paper into the minds of the people. You have the average Nigerian who's a skeptic, who doesn't believe anything good. Then how do you
No, I don't agree with you.
I said you have the average. I didn't say all. That's why I didn't use every. You have things that ordinarily should come easy to the average Nigerians. Many will not do.
Do you want me to give you an example?
Please do.
Do you know the Area 1 roundabout?
Yes, please.
Have you been there lately?
No.
You have not been there?
No.
I want you to take a drive there and look back like 10 years ago.
I'm new in Abuja.
You are new in Abuja. Okay, so you don't understand. But you know Ojo Elegba in Lagos?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that place is like Ojo Elegba. For all the time I've been in Abuja, it has been so. Until somebody woke up one day and said, I have had enough. I don't want taxi drivers parking in this circle. That was it. A problem of more than 10 years was solved in one day.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Let's look at this other story on the point. It says here, only Tinubu has solution to Nigeria's insecurity, and that's according to the governor of Osun State, Gboyega Oyetola. And it says here, Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola on Tuesday led multitude of members of the All Progressives Congress in a march across notable streets in Osogbo for the party. Presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima. The supporters wore branded shirts and caps and trekked about 10 kilometers distance. The party loyalists walked from the state government house. Okay, but technically, I think that's the beef of the story. Would you like to react to that?
I hear somebody, I don't know whether it's true, but I saw a related story in the Vanguard that somebody called him the father of all nations. I think Adeboye or Yedekwa.
That was this at the inauguration of his wife, or whether the investiture of his wife as a pastor.
Please let me have a glass of water before I react to this kind of story.
Okay, we're going to have to find you water then.
It's a political season, so everything goes. But what Nigeria needs right now is not cheap talk. We need people who are doers. We need people who are serious-minded, people who are patriotic. When I say patriotic, I don't mean it in a political sense.
Okay, what do you mean?
I mean it in the sense that we are creations of God. And God has endowed every human being in every part of the world with a basic knowledge, whether that person worships him or not. So we should be able to do some basic things and get them done right. This idea of big names, big titles, big promises, it doesn't cut it for me at all.
Okay, that's good. Let's go to this Nigeria. It says court convicts Mama Boko Haram others over 34 million fraud. Are you conversant with that story? Mama Boko Haram, who was the one who was interfacing, so to speak, and then she was arrested for fraud, but then she's been convicted.
Big deal. Big deal. We have so many people who are waiting trial. Let us keep moving